Hi, Dominique. So first I want to apologize for my appearance because I took a shower and then I was like, fuck, I still need to do a reading. So sorry for my appearance. Just want to get that out of the way. Let's get into your chart. And it's very, oh wow, okay. You are super watery and super emotional. Jesus fucking Christ. Wow. The chart that I read before you is also super Scorpio and you are super Cancer. So let's just get into things. So I'm going to start with the basics, right? Okay, so I just want you to know, and I'm sure you may know some of this, but I want to start, giving you a foundation so you can understand this better going forward as I read. This is just going to be like the beginning, and then part 2 will be a lot more in-depth and complex. This is like foundation, right? So let's start by, let's talk about, there's 4 elements, okay? So there's water, earth, fire, and air. Water and earth complement each other very nicely. Fire and air complement each other. Water and fire clash, and air and earth clash. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. Now we're going to talk about the sun sign, and the sun sign is obviously what everyone knows. It's just the day you were born. I believe, and I also want to touch on this. I believe you are a cusp, and you're my first cusp reading that I've done. I've done a lot of cusp readings in my life. But now that I started doing it, I think you're my first cusp that I've gotten. I'm a cusp as well, and I'm pretty sure, yep. Yeah. Okay. So you're the first day of Cancer. So you're a cusp with Gemini. All right. So that just basically means that a little bit of Gemini is going to come into play in your chart. Honestly, I used to really strongly believe in cusps, and I've done a lot of research, and I don't believe in it as much anymore. And looking at your chart, you don't have any Gemini placements, so it's not really going to affect you the way that people might tell you, oh, you're a cusp, you have Gemini in you. From what I'm looking at in your chart, honestly, I don't think that's going to affect you very much at all, being that you're the first day of Cancer. I will, in the next reading, I'll tell you a little bit more about that cusp and what it's supposed to be, but personally, I was obsessed with cusp signs because I technically am one, and from the research I've done within the years, like, it's not very relevant to your sign. It doesn't have a big impact. So just wanted to get that out of the way because I'm sure you've been told that before, possibly. So let's just talk about your sun sign. So like I said, it's what everyone knows. It's just the day you were born. Everyone knows their sun sign. So basically your sun is going to be your personality traits, your characteristics, just how your friends see you, coworkers see you, family sees you, people that know you, this is what they're going to see you as, right? So your sun is in Cancer, which is a water sign, and it's also a cardinal sign, which I'll explain later. But it's a water sign, so it is, I'm a water sign, so we're very controlled and act upon our emotions. And from what I know and from what I've experienced with Cancers, I see them as being, very nurturing, very caring. You might be very much a homebody. You care a lot about your family. I'm seeing because, I'm going to go into this more in the other reading, but I'm seeing that you probably had a lot of difficult family life, which causes a lot of trauma to you because Cancers are so family oriented and so distraught when anything goes wrong within their family, whether that family is blood related or the family as in, their closest friends that they consider family. It's huge to them, okay? It's a very big deal, and if something goes wrong, it's going to deeply hurt them more than it would, say, like a Libra. It's not going to affect them as deeply as it would a Cancer, okay? So another thing about Cancers, they're very nurturing, right? So Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is supposed to represent, cash. It's supposed to represent, like, the mother, right? And the sun is supposed to represent the dad. It's a feminine energy, so you're very nurturing. Cash! No, stop. Sorry. So anyways, you have a very nurturing, caring, motherly side to you, and a lot of men who are needy are going to be attracted to you because of that. They're going to pick up on it. You probably attract a lot of narcissistic male energy into your life. People with mother issues come to you because you have this nurturing energy that you put out, and you have so much, like, you have this girl that I did before you had like 4 Scorpio placements and all her inner planets You have 5 Cancer placements, girl. Like, you are really a giving person. You're very sensitive, highly emotional. You probably cry a lot. And, you know, with Pisces cry sad tears. Scorpios cry angry tears. And Cancers, I find, cry both. We're water signs, right? So we're just we have lots of water. We're just letting it go all the time, you know, and we feel things very deeply. And a lot of people, you know, that aren't on that same level will just think that we're crybabies, that we're sensitive. And you know what? Sometimes we are a little bit dramatic or a little bit overly sensitive, but wouldn't you rather be sensitive than completely detached? I don't know. I like water signs, obviously, because I am one. And I just understand them better, but you might struggle with people calling you, you know, overly dramatic, overly sensitive, but that's not you being dramatic. That's just how you feel. Like, so you might struggle with that, being a Cancer. Cancers can be known to have a lot of depression issues. My brother is a Cancer. He is diagnosed depressed bipolar. It's very, very, very common, especially since you have Cancer so heavily in your chart, like heavily in your chart. I'm seeing that you're very prone to depression. You're prone to being moody, and moody more in the sense you could be irritable, moody, but I'm also seeing a lot of, like, sometimes you're just gonna lock yourself in your room and not want to talk to anyone. You're gonna be sad, and there may not even be things that trigger it necessarily. It's just your mood. Like, you're very moody, okay? And you're a crab, okay? You can be a little bit crabby. Cancers are the crab, okay? But yeah, overall, for Sun, personality wise, you know, you're very, also it's a cardinal sign, so you take action on things, you know, you don't just sit by and let life pass you by unless you're in a depressed mode. But when you are feeling like, you know, mentally healthy and stable and like grounded, you're probably not one to just let things pass you by, and you're not just gonna sit and be on your ass. You're going to make things happen for yourself, or, you know, at least other people. You're gonna be a very giving person, it seems. Like I said, you have a very motherly instinct to you, and you may not even see it, but a lot of other people will, and a lot of people probably try to take advantage of that. Mainly, I'm referring to mainly men. Okay. Let's go a little bit more. I'm so tired. I'm probably going to, like, redo this and then also, like, do part 2 in, like, one huge long video because I'm tired right now. And I feel like I'm not as on point as I normally am in the readings. Okay, so that's your sun sign, right? That's how, you know, your friends, coworkers, whatever, see you, okay? You're sensitive, caring, nurturing. You're a homebody. You care a lot. You have, like, you really care about your family. You tend to be on the sensitive, you're definitely on the sensitive side. You're definitely emotional, and sometimes you lose control of that, okay? Now let's go to your rising sign. So your rising sign or ascendant sign is how people perceive you as, right? So say you go to a job interview. Say you're meeting your friend's boyfriend for the first time. Say you're in line at a grocery store, okay? Whatever the case may be, it's when someone's meeting you for the first time, it's going to be how they perceive you as, right? So when you saw, this also applies to social media. Say that someone sees your social media, but they haven't seen you in real life, you're going to come across as your rising sign. It's people that don't really know you, and it's just how they first perceive you as. And that's also Cancer. So they're basically perceiving you as who you really are, right? So like I said, it's kind of hard for me to elaborate even more on this because it's basically the same thing. You know, people are going to see you as a very kind, nurturing, sweet. You're not going to come across as intimidating to people. You're going to come across as a very kind person, maybe a little bit soft-spoken, a little bit closed off, I would say. You're going to be, I'm assuming you're more of an introvert than an extrovert, just because Cancers tend to be more introverted. 1 second. And very, I don't know, they have a lot going on in their head, but they're not going to express it to everyone, only the people that they're super close with. But there's always a lot going on in their head and then in their emotions, and they tend to internalize it, and then it all comes crashing down to the people that are closest around them. 1 second. Yeah, it's a feminine sign, so you have a lot of feminine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're definitely an introvert. You're better with one-on-one. you like smaller groups. Like you're gonna do a lot better with a small group of your friends, right? With people that you know closely. I don't think you're someone that really likes big crowds. I don't see you as being someone that likes going to big parties or getting wild, unless you're going into self-destructive Cancer mode where they start like going crazy, which can happen, but it's not very common. But in general, you like one-on-one, hanging out with someone, talking to someone one-on-one is where you do a lot better. Because also water signs, you know, we're the most intuitive. Water signs are the most intuitive of all the elements. So, you know, you want to be able to read someone and pick up on them, and you can't do that if there's a bunch of other energies around, and will cause you a lot of anxiety, okay? I'm kind of going off track of your rising, but basically people see you as who you are, which is a Cancer, because you're rising in your sun and you have a lot of Cancer in your chart. Yeah, they're gonna see you as sweet, maybe a little oversensitive, over emotional. They're gonna see you as pretty calm at first, like a very mellow, maybe even, yeah, definitely a shy and more quiet person. They're gonna see you as that. They're not gonna see you as a super loud center of attention person. You're not a look at me person, you're a behind the scenes person, and you'd rather sit back and observe and watch people rather than go out of your way to try to, you know, gain attention to yourself, or even try to associate or talk to people if you don't have to. You know, you're not completely antisocial, but you definitely are not going out of your way to have a bunch of people around you all the time. You're a lot better in smaller groups, like I said. Okay, so anyways, now let's go to the moon sign, right? So moon is your truest self. Okay, so I want you to know that, like, your moon sign is, so you know how I talk about how rising is people that don't really know you, how they first perceive you, right? So it's kind of like a level. And these are your big three. Rising, sun, and moon are your big three, okay? So your rising, other outside, like I said, sun, like people around you, people that know your coworkers, friends, family, whatever. Your moon is going to be, and you have the same, my brother is also an Aquarius moon with a sun in Cancer, and I'm going to be honest with you, this is a really difficult placement right here, okay? It's going to cause, he has the same exact Cancer sun and Aquarius moon, and my brother has a lot of challenges in his life, having to do mainly with like depression, I would say. It's hard. It's hard. I just see like struggle here, like a lot. Anyways, so your moon is how people see you, like the people that are closest to you, your closest relationships, your closest friends, family members that you're closest to, what they really know you as is your moon signs, your truest self, right? So, you know, you've got the rising up here, outer people, right? Then you've got, you know, the regular people around you is your sun, and then your innermost is your moon, and how it's really how you emotionally respond to things now. So I'm gonna go into that in the other reading. It might be I'll go into this in part 2, okay? Because I'm tired, and I just want to make sure that my part 2 is very on point, and I want to make sure this is on point. I don't get too off track. But anyways, your moon is in Aquarius, okay? So this is a difficult placement for you, especially with your Cancer being, or your sun being in Cancer, okay? So the moon, first of all, like I said, emotional responses, how you feel inside, and how you react to things based off how you feel. It's in Aquarius, so Aquarius is a fixed sign. Like I said, I'll get into that later. It's also an air sign, but it's the most detached air sign, because the other 2 air signs, Gemini and Libra, are known for being very talkative and charming and bubbly, and that's their whole personality, right? You know, they're not whole personality, but they're very social people. They're social butterflies. Aquariuses can be like that, right? Don't get me wrong. But from what I'm seeing, based off the rest of your chart, I don't see you being a super, I don't see you being very, like, talkative and social unless you really know someone, and a big thing about Aquarius is they're very unique individuals, and they think outside of the box, and they have their own opinions, and they hate conformity, they hate social norms, you probably hate religion, probably hate politics, all right? You're not going to conform to something that you think outside of the box, and you have a different mindset on a lot of things, and a lot of people are not going to understand you, right? So this is how your emotions are, though. So But okay, so the reason why I'm saying this is because, okay, so this, sorry, see, like, I want to redo this, but I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to make part 2, and I swear it's going to be better. I'm just tired. The biggest thing that I needed to bring up, and I'm going to bring up now, is your chart ruler, right? So everyone has a chart ruler. So that's a sign that's going to play an influence on all of your planets, right? Your Neptune, your Venus, Mercury, everything is going to have a slight impact by your chart ruler. Now, the way that you find your chart ruler, right, is you'll go to whatever your rising / ascendant, it's the same thing is, and your rising, like I said, is Cancer as well as your sun, but your rising is in Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon, whereas Libra is ruled by Venus, etc. So since Cancer is ruled by the moon, you go to your moon sign, and your moon is in Aquarius. So that's why Aquarius is your moon sign, but it's also your chart ruler. So it's influencing your entire chart, right? It's playing a big role. So yeah, emotionally, as a moon sign Aquarius, you probably have a lot to work on as far as expressing how you feel inside, because Aquariuses are known to be quote unquote emotionally detached. I don't think Aquariuses are emotionally detached. I think that they have a lot of emotions and they bury them super deep inside because they have a very, 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 very thick and high wall up, and they don't want anyone to know how they feel because they're afraid of expressing their feelings. And I'll go into this in the second reading. You probably have some trauma. A lot of Aquarius's moons do. Trauma from childhood, which makes it feel like you can't freely express your emotions and how you feel. So it can be very frustrating to the people around you because you'll get into these moods, especially with all this Cancer in your chart. Like I said, the crab, you can get crabby, or you can close yourself off. Aquariuses are known for being very closed off, and the people closest to you want to know what's wrong, and they want you to talk to them, but you just can't even express yourself. And it's not that you don't want to, it's that you really truly struggle with expressing how you feel because you're afraid to talk about your feelings and be vulnerable. And this is the biggest thing that Aquarius have problems with. And also, you're going to feel very strongly, Aquarius is known for being humanitarians, right? So you're going to feel very strongly about humanitarian issues such as the planet, climate change, animals, pollution, like the good of humanity, like people, like health. You're going to feel very passionately about these things. And when these things aren't going right in the world, which obviously none of it is going right now, it's going to truly upset you more than it would, like, say, I'm an Aries moon, right? So I'm not super, it bothers me, but I don't know, like, it bothers me, but I don't internalize it too much. But you take in what's going around, not just in your life, but in the world and humans and this earth as a whole, and you internalize it and you feel it, you know what I mean? Because like I said, your moon, it's your emotion, so it really bothers you, and it bothers you to see things, cruel things going on in the world, and it bothers you to see war and pollution like that. It truly bothers you. Like, you probably cry because you'll go on social media and you'll see some fucked up shit going on in the world, and you just cry because you just want things to be better. You want to help people, and you feel this very strongly. And like I said, not just because this is your moon sign and how you emotionally react, it's also your chart ruler. So in general, you probably have a very strong sense of helping others, and you probably do that more than yourself, and you're probably very prone to getting used because you just want to help people, and users pick up on that, and they will come to you and try to feed off of your nature, and it will drain you very quickly. So you need to have your guard up, and that's why, part of the emotional detachment is because you deep down, you have the intuition that hey, I'm a very kind soul who wants to help people, and people are going to take advantage of that. And that's part of your intuition as being a water sign. You know that not everyone's intentions are pure. You're not an idealistic person. I wouldn't say you're definitely, you're not even a realist. You seem like you're a pessimist, to be honest. Just because I've seen you have so much Cancer in your chart, and my brother is very similar. I'm not trying to be like, oh, you're a negative ass, but you're probably pessimistic on your outward look on people and this world, you don't have a very shiny outlook, and you don't have a very grounded outlook. It's more of like, like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like, you know, you're Cancer. Like, you're a Cancer. You're so prone to depression. Like, and it sucks. And this Aquarius moon. But I'm in the second reading. I am going to talk to you. I want you to ask me some questions after this reading. And I want you to ask me for advice and some clarification so I can pull some tarot cards for you, because looking at your chart, like, I feel it. Like, I feel it. And I want to help you, and I can help you. At least try to overcome some of these struggles, because I do see a lot of struggles. It's just having all this in your chart. It's rough. You're just in a very emotional, sensitive, and depression-prone person who's so giving and so nurturing, but so afraid at the same time to open up to anyone, that you tend to push people out before they can even get in. And then the people that do somehow get in, you tend to push away. And then you push them away because you've been traumatized your whole life and you haven't really healed that trauma. And then, so you push them away, you detach, you don't tell them what's really going on inside of your head. And it upsets the people that really care about you, right? And then it upsets you because you think, what's wrong with me? Why am I pushing everyone around me? Not everyone, but like, you know, like maybe relationships or whatever, away from me. And it's not your fault, you know what I mean? I just think that you've been through a lot. And I'm just yeah, hold on, I need to look at your actual, I want to see what's going on over here. Why isn't it giving me, I'm going to do this in the next reading. I need to look at all of your aspects and houses. Sorry, I'm just going to keep this just based off your inner planets for this reading. Okay, so next, right? So yeah, you're emotionally detached, right? Emotionally detached, quote unquote, because you do have emotions and you feel them very deeply, but you do not show them. It's very, very, very difficult for you to express those emotions. The only way that I can see you really expressing your emotions is breaking down and crying, and then someone asking you what's wrong, and you just can't. You can't, the words like will not come out, right? Breaking down and crying, or like just having depressive modes, or times, or having mood swings, like really hard mood swings. But I feel like it's difficult for you to not comprehend. I feel like you know deep down what's going on inside of you. Like I said, you're intuitive, but I feel like it's hard for you to express that to people around you. So now we're gonna go to your Mercury, right? So your Mercury is also in Cancer. You literally have six. Wait, am I miscounting? No, you have 6 Cancer placements. Like, that's a lot. I thought the girl that had 5 Scorpio placements was a lot. You have 6 Cancer placements. Holy shit. Mercury is the planet of intellect and communication. So it's the way that you think about things, and it's the way that you speak about things, right? And that is also in Cancer. The way that you think about things, I mean, you think about, you're gonna have a pretty, like I said, you think pessimistically for the most part, okay? You don't have a very bright view on life. You think about your family a lot. You think about other people around you a lot. You think about hidden intentions. Also, Cancers and Scorpios and Pisces, all water signs, have a tendency to manipulate, but in different ways. And the way that Cancers... Gosh, has been barking like... Gosh. Sorry. Anyways, okay. So, what was I saying? Cancers, all right? So you tend to, you might say negative things a lot, right? Like, you might annoy people around you because you might be saying negative things, but you're not going to say this to people that are, like, just, like, random people. Like, it would be to someone that, like, you were in a relationship with, and they might be like, why are you being negative? Why blah, 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 blah. You can't help it, you know? You're just sensitive. And I think a lot of the negativity or the pessimism comes from having so much water, Cancer in your chart. You're taking on a lot of the energies that are surrounding you, and you're internalizing them as your own. And the energies around you, obviously, you know, a lot of times are not good energies, and you're taking all of this on because you're a water sign, because you are probably, from what I'm seeing, I'm talking about you. I'm not saying Cancer. I'm talking about you, Dominique. You're probably empathic, which means that you are taking on so much fucking energy from fucking people around you, and you have probably experienced so many fucking energy vampires in your life because of your motherly instincts, because of your instinct to take care of people. And it's draining you, man. Like, it's draining you, and it's hard. You're empathic for sure, or at least a highly sensitive person. HSP, which is what I'm not an empath. I'm an HSP, which is close to being an empath. But yeah, you're taking on the energies of people around you, and that's why, you know, there's a lot of negativity in the world right now. So I feel like you're taking that on into your own self, and that's hurting you. I think that you should definitely do some cleansing if you can, spiritual cleansing, and some protection spells, and even wearing a talisman would help, just to keep negative energies away from you, because you're a water sign, and you're taking in a lot. You're and not just one water sign. You have 6 Cancer placements. That's a lot. Okay. The way you communicate, other than that, I feel like Cancers talk about their family life a lot, I feel like. And Cancers talk about, I'm trying to think. I don't know. They don't like to get too deep with people that they're not comfortable with. Unless you, like, really know them. Like, they're not going to talk to you about anything too beyond the surface level. And it's not because, like, Cancers are super deep. Any water sign is super deep. But it's because, what the hell? It's because you have a guard up to people. Anyways. So, sorry, people are tired. This reading is pissing me off. I'm going to do part 2 so much better. I'm sorry. I'm tired, and people keep texting me. Anyways, sorry. And your Venus is in Cancer now. Let's just move on to the next. Okay, I'm going to probably redo this whole thing, but at least I'm just giving you a short, little, shitty foundation. I'm, like, really annoyed with my reading right now because I'm just so, like, I'm not really in tune. I feel like I'm not as in tune as I normally am right now. So Venus is in Cancer, right? So Venus is the planet of love and relationships. It's a Sagittarian relationships. And again, it's Cancer again. And so basically, I mean, so Cancer is a cardinal sign. Now I'm going to start talking about the 3 things besides the elements, the 4 elements, right? There's cardinal, mutable, and fixed, okay? So there are some signs that are fixed, there are some that are mutable, and there are some that are cardinal. Cancer is a cardinal sign. Aquarius, your moon sign, is a fixed sign. Cardinal takes action, right? Basically, cardinal, when they pursue something, they get what they want, they make the move on things, right? They take action. Aquarius is a fixed sign. Fixed is the opposite of cardinal, and then mutable is right in between, right? Mutual, it goes, like, mutable signs will go either way. They kind of go with the flow. If one idea comes up, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that, or I could do this, and they might be a little bit indecisive, and they kind of let people make decisions for them, right? Cardinal knows what they want, they make their decisions, and your Cancer is a cardinal sign, and you have so much Cancer in your chart that you're probably, you know, pretty good at making your own decisions. However, Aquarius is a fixed sign, right? I'm very fixed. Fixed signs can find themselves being stuck in the same situation for a long time, or the same job, or the same relationship, because they're comfortable. And it doesn't mean that they're happy, but they're comfortable. And fixed signs, yeah, they get comfortable, they get fixed, they get fixated on a certain situation, whatever it may be, and they kind of just stick like that, right? So that also relates, I want to come back to your moon sign a little bit, just because Aquarius is a fixed sign, so you may stay fixed in your emotions for a long time, right? You don't, that emotion or that feeling, because moon is about feeling, moon rules your emotions and feelings, it doesn't just come and go. It may stick with you for a while. You may dwell on certain emotions and certain feelings for a long time, right? And keep having them in your head and keep feeling them longer. And that's why I'm saying you're prone to depression spells, you know, and that are not for a day. They could be for weeks, they could be for months, okay? Because you're a fixed moon sign, you're fixed in your emotions, right? And not only that, like we talked about, Aquarius is also your chart ruler, so it's playing an influence on everything. in your chart. So fixed signs can tend to be lazy, messy, procrastinate. I'm super fixed. I'm super lazy, messy, and procrastinate. However, positive affirmations are good. If you are any of those things, say, I'm not messy. I'm never messy. I never am lazy. I never procrastinate. Those are positive affirmations. It's another really good thing to start practicing. I've been recently doing it more myself, and trying to, because I think it's a really, really healthy thing to do is positive affirmations. But anyways, fixed signs tend to be, what else about fixed signs? I know a lot. I'm just so tired right now. I can't it's like bothering me. Okay, so anyways, okay, so yeah, Venus, but like I said before, so Cancer, Cardinal, it gets what they want, right? So in relationships, you probably have pursued a lot of your relationships, and you're not afraid to DM someone first. You're not afraid to follow a guy first, message him first, say whatever first, right? I don't see you having a lot of fear in that aspect. Like, I feel like if you find someone interesting, if you want to talk to them and they're, a shy person, you might actually be the less shy person out of the two. You're a shy person, you're an introverted person, but I wouldn't say necessarily in all aspects you're a shy person. If you want something or want someone or want a friendship with someone and you really do want it, then you're going to take action on it. You're not going to wait for them. You're probably going to attract people that are actually... You could attract either extroverts or introverts, honestly. I need to do this tomorrow when I'm more awake. I'm frustrating myself. Okay, so anyways, I need to calm down. My Aries moon is getting to me. Anyways, you're going to be very nurturing to your partner, like I was talking about before, very motherly. So I see you, like I said, again, because it's Venus is also Cancer, I see you attracting a lot of guys with mommy issues because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is a mother. The moon is the most feminine planet, in my opinion, and so you're going to attract a lot of guys with mommy issues that want to be coddled, that want to be taken care of, and you probably will or have in the past, or maybe you're learning from that now, but you probably attract that. And it's not fun to be a mom. You want a boyfriend, you don't want a kid, you know what I mean? I know how that feels too, but I feel like you definitely have experienced a lot of that, right? I also feel like so you're going to be very emotional and you're going to want to have a deeper connection with your partner. You're not going to want some surface level fling shit. I don't see that for you at all. I see that you want an emotional, deep connection with someone. I don't see you being the type of person that goes around having a lot of random flings with people. I see you as someone who, when you're in a relationship, it's a serious one and you want it to work and you wanted that deep emotional connection. And if you don't have that emotional connection with that person, you can't do it. You're a water sign. You're too intuitive. You're gonna pick up on it way too fast. And you're not an idealistic person either, which helps. Anyways, let's go on to your Venus. It's Cancer. It's water sign. Yeah, so you'll take action. You'll approach guys first. You don't care. You're confident in that aspect for sure. Okay, and then honestly, I feel so bad. I'm going to stop because I feel like I'm not in tuned enough right now and I want to be fully awake when I do your reading, so I'm going to do it tomorrow, or continue it tomorrow. But for now, I want you to just ask me questions. I want you to ask me for clarifications. I want you to tell me what's accurate and what's not, etc. So that way tomorrow I'm going to drink some fucking coffee and I'm going to give you an amazing reading, and the part 2 is going to be much longer for you. But I will go over a couple things before I finish this, right? So masculine and feminine. Okay, so you have 4 masculine sides and 6 feminine sides. That's a pretty good balance. Okay, so you're going to be a little bit more on the girly side, and it doesn't mean girly necessarily as in, oh, you like the color pink, right? I mean, it could be that. I mean, don't get me wrong, but you're going to be a little bit more you're going to act, or you're going to think more before you act on things rather than acting and then thinking after the fact. You're going, like I said, better in smaller groups, better one-on-one. You have a lot of inner strength, rather than outer strength. Masculine is more outer strength and feminine is more inner strength, okay? So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but you're very inner wisdom, inner guidance, intuition. Coda, what are you doing? What do you think, Coda? Anyways, yeah, you're a little more feminine, but you have a very nice balance. So you're not too much feminine. I really like the 4 to 6 ratio. I feel like of like the 4 masculine, 6 feminine. I feel like that's a very nice balance. You're not too on the feminine side. You're not too much. You can still, relate to masculine energies more. You know what I mean? You can balance. You can go with someone that's a more masculine energy, and you can also go with someone that's more feminine energy. You know what I mean? Either one will work for you. So now let's go on to your cardinal, fixed, and mutable. I'll just say this as a repeat just because I feel like repeating things gets in your head better. Cardinal takes action. They make moves. They act on things that they want. They don't wait for someone. Fixed, they fixate on problems, situations, people, relationships, whatever the case may be. Literally, maybe something that someone said to them earlier that day that just didn't sit right with them. They may fixate on that for like an hour. They may fixate on a certain song and just play it over and over again. They might fixate on food. They might fixate on, whatever the case may be. They fixate on things and they it's almost an obsessive. I don't see you being obsessive. Scorpios are fixed sign that are more obsessive, but they do tend to get stuck on certain situations, people, relationships, problems, etc. And stuck on those and kind of dwell on those. And it's kind of like a dwelling in the past almost. That could also very much be the case with you. And then you have 1 mutable. I'm also 1 mutable, which means you really are not a go with the flow person in the sense that if there's a couple of different things coming your way, you're going to think and then make your decision. You're not just going to be like, well, whichever one's easier, I don't really care. No, you make your own decisions for yourself. If there's 2 options, if there's 5 options, and they're, it's like, oh, well, one's really easy and one will come quickly. That's a mutable sign. We'll take that quick and easy option. Oh, yeah, sure, let's just do that. No, you're going to think about, which one you want to do the most and not just, so, I'm going to go better into it tomorrow, I swear to God. Anyways, you're the most fixed and you're more feminine, okay, so, but you have 4 cardinal and 5 fixed. And this is kind of conflicting because I feel like I'm very similar, I think I have 4 cardinal and 5 fixed as well, and 1 mutable, I think it's literally the same, and for me, it's I have a lot of ideas, I have a lot of things I want to do, and I'll sporadically take action on them, and then I'll also have a lot of, phases in my life where, I just won't do anything because I get comfortable and I get situated, I'm sitting on a couch, not wanting to move for hours. Literally, I actually do that, a lot, I'll, watch a show for, 4 hours when I, need to be doing things, and then all of a sudden I'll randomly get up and be like, I need to do this, and then, right? So cardinal and fixed, since they're opposites, you might struggle with having a lot of intention to make actions, but then sometimes you may fall short of going through those actions, and then all of a sudden one day you wake up and you're like, I need to do this, or I want this, let me go get this right now. And then you're like, I want this, I'm gonna go get this today, and then you get your fixed signs come in and you kind of it fades away, right? So, you just DM me. This has been happening every reading that I do, dude. While I'm doing the person's reading, they'll DM me, and it's so weird. Okay, so anyways, let's go to your elements, right? So this is interesting. You have 1 fire, 2 earth, 3 air, 4 water. Okay, so obviously, and I don't know why it's saying 4 water because you have 6 water placements. I mean, unless they don't count the north node and rising as placements, but to me, I count them. I think they're just basing it off of, 10 planets, which are Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Those are the inner planets, right? The ones that relate to you the most and that are changing the most, which is why your exact birth time is so important. And then the ones that wouldn't change as much based on your birth time, it's more your year that's more important. So you get correct, or your outer planets, because they're not switching as much. I'm going to explain this better tomorrow. Your outer planets would be Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So they're basing off these 10. They're not basing off your north node, which is Cancer, and your rising is Cancer, because they don't consider those planets. But still, regardless, you have the most water in your chart. And then you have 3 air signs, 2 earth, one fire. So you're not a very, you're obviously, it's pretty like, it's like, you're not a very fire person. You have one fire sign in your chart, okay? So that means I don't see you as someone who's getting rage, right? I see you as someone who gets mad, because Cancers get mad, but the way that they get mad is very different than the way that a Leo or not even a Leo, like a Scorpio gets mad, okay? Like the way that a Cancer gets mad is different, and you're not like a fiery ball of rage. It's a different type of anger where it's internalized, and you may even flip it into yourself, or you might turn that anger into sadness or depression, and you may manipulate it into something else. Then yeah, you have the 3 air signs, okay? So 3 air signs, you know, like I said, head in the clouds a little bit. And then 2 earth, you're not super grounded, because earth signs, like earth signs, it's also like self-explanatory, grounded, head on their shoulders, right? Rational thinkers, reasonable, logic-based. They think a lot before they act, and they think very analytically. You're going to think and act based off how you feel and based off your intuition rather than logic. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to stop it here and continue it tomorrow, but this is just like your part 1 out of part 1, and then I'm gonna do like part 1 and 2 tomorrow in like one big video. But watch this, or once you're done, just send me questions, ask me for clarification. I'll pull some tarot cards for you as well, and ask for advice. Tell them what's accurate, what's not, what you're relating to and resonating with. And we'll go really in depth tomorrow with this. I'm so sorry. I wanted to make it a better reading, but I was like, you know, like I wasn't even going to make it. And then I was like, I told her I was going to make it tonight. I'm just going to at least do a brief summary and then make your reading amazing and on point and super in detail tomorrow. So I'm sorry if this was all over the place and very vague. I'm going to do a lot better tomorrow. I'm just literally exhausted. But I hope that this resonated with you somewhat, and I can't wait for your response, because I will make your part 2 tomorrow, because I actually really want to. I think that your chart is really interesting, and it looks like you have a lot of conjunctions in your chart, like a lot. Which you have a few. We'll go into it tomorrow. But anyways, yeah, I'm sorry that this wasn't the most on point ever. But yeah, let me know what you think of everything else. Wow, it was 42 minutes, Jesus Christ.